going on, everybody? This is Aaron with Toy Box Talk, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of toy recon and repair. I don't know about you guys, but your basic toy figures and even action figures or toy models, we like to display and keep them together and keep them in good form. Well, I got a few pieces here. Looks like a couple of World of Warcraft characters going on. That'll be a whole nother segment, by the way. We might have a special guest, and she'll be explaining a little bit more on World of Warcraft characters and segments, but that's a whole nother thing we'll discuss. Anyway, so today we're going to be cleaning, repairing this little sucker right here. The reasoning of repair is it looks like the hand that holds the staff up here might need a little bit of stabilization, so we're going to use a little bit of glue to get that stiffened up. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but here, zoom this in for you guys. This little fella right here in his belt looks like it has broken. Get that closer for you guys. You see that? Looks like it's supposed to be attached right up into the hip there. So we're going to attach that as well after we go and give it a nice good cleaning here. So now, what I usually like to use for cleaning when it comes to your typical models or your action figures, I know in the last video we saw packaging and I used a solution that had an ammonia. Well, these ones you're going to want to use an ammonia-free solution. Keep in mind, whatever solution you do use, you're going to want to do a little test spot anyways, just so in case it does do any kind of damage, you ain't ruining the whole thing right up front. Not that it will ruin it, but you just want to make sure you have a little test spot somewhere. So with that being said, we're going to get right into the segment. So we're going to start off with a cleaning solution, which is again a non-ammonia cleaning solution. And we can spray the non-ammonia one right onto the item. Get a nice little coverage going on there. Nice and wet. We're going to take your typical toothbrush, everyday toothbrush, and you're just going to give it a good scrub down with the toothbrush again, every corner and angle. Now this is the reason why I like to use a toothbrush on a lot of things is A, it gets into nooks and crannies where you can't usually clean with anything else, and B, for anything that's really delicate and petite like this, it doesn't do any damage, and if it does do any damage, it's very minimum to repairable, as in if you were to go in with a green scrubby or a scour pad and you're thinking that you're going to scrub it clean, and you're just going to scrape up the plastics, take some of the color off, probably damage some of the plastic, and even leave some scarring on it. So you want to use the least abrasive but the best abrasive tool that you can use, and I found personally that it would be a toothbrush. So that's why I have stuck with the toothbrush for the last, I'd say, decade of being doing this. With that being said, not that I totally enjoy cleaning and repairing, but it's not that bad of a gig. By the time you're done, you get to see great results. You get to see a lot more of the item than you did to begin with because of the shine and the angle and the clean. And it's just all in all around more presentable for the initial impact. So I'm going to go ahead and finish scrubbing this up and wipe her down, and we'll get to the next segment here. Alright, welcome back. We gave this thing a good little scrub down, still wet here and there, so I've just been using the microfiber cloth to dry it off in spots here and there. Now if you ever notice when you are doing this with your toys and there's markings of like other paints or plastics that may have rubbed up against it that just doesn't seem like it wants to come off, it's very stubborn and it's very noticeable. So you might have a black scuff mark on a tan part or a white scuff mark or on a black area. I found the best way to honestly get rid of that with doing the minimum amount of damage to anything, if no damage, is to use a microfiber like so and just kind of polish in that area where the blemish may be. And I've noticed that the more you polish over and over with the microfiber, eventually, yes, it does take time, but it will go away. And it doesn't do any damage to the toy, which is what we're shooting for 100%, because we want the least amount of damage as possible when it comes to recon and repair, so it comes out as pristine as possible when we're done. We're gonna go to our next part of the segment here, and that's gonna be polishing and cleaning. See you when we get back. Now I know that I said the next video we're gonna be doing the polishing part, but I forgot that we got to do a little bit of repairs first. So we're gonna repair this guy first. And like I said, if you guys notice, the belt here's got a little damage, and we got to get that hand to hold that staff back up. So what I like to use for a super glue solution is something with a nice thin point, something, you know, where you can get really precise with it. There's a couple products out there that got a nice unit like this for super glue, where they come with a great fine point to be able to get precise. Now what I'm gonna glue is him himself, and then put the belt onto him. You don't want to glue the belt and then try to press it into him, because then you might end up getting glue everywhere. So the best part is to just try to get a precise small dot on him and then put the belt back on him. So we're gonna get that done right here. Little squeeze. Comes out nice and easy. Push the belt back in. Let you guys get a look-see there. See right there? And set her back in there. Probably about 10 seconds, and that's all it should really take. And it should start holding. I'm gonna go ahead and let that hold for a second. Beautiful. Now we're going to attack the other part, which was the hand that's not holding the staff up. So that would be this piece here. And as you can see, it doesn't like to hold it up. So we're going to apply a little bit more solution to that as well. Not that it needs it, but I personally would like it to stay still. Just a little dab. You don't need nothing major, because I still want it to move. I just want it to be able to grab, because it is a movable action. However, I don't want it to just keep dropping down, and that's our issue. So I just applied just a little bit, just enough to be able to grab it. Remember, you want to go and hold it for about 10 seconds, maybe even longer. Let that glue activate. And lo and behold, we're going to let that dry for a couple of minutes, and we'll come right back with the polishing. All right, looks like we had enough time for the glue application to be able to do its job. It's nice and solid now. Very good, nice. Looks like the belt's on there pretty well. All right, so we can start applying the polish solution. Now for items themselves, I know we showed on the packages that I'd like to use a tire shine, any type of tire shine, for a solution to get the plastic up and shiny again. We're going to do the same thing with these. However, with the tire shine, you're going to look for different solution than what we use for the package. The one you're going to want to use on these items themselves, because they're a little bit more delicate, is something with a little bit more water base to it. It's not so thick, not so heavy. It doesn't need to be. You want to be able to wipe it off easily. As in, if you get the thick base one, it gets inside these little tiny crevices. They tend to have a buildup, and you don't want the buildup to happen. So therefore, when you do want to polish the item itself, you're going to use a more water-based solution. So let's get that done. Now on the item, you can spray it right down with the solution you choose, as long as you plan on, you know, polishing it right then and there. You can't really leave a solution on any item, especially expensive items like these, from what I've gathered. I just got these in, by the way. They were secondhand, and they were a given gift, so it's great. Thank you very much out there. They just wanted to add something to Toy Box Talk, and it's going to be added as soon as we do this little recon to this beautiful little gem. And then the other three are going to get done after this. But I did want to share with you guys that how to do this and what it is that I did for my personal procedure to get it done. And now I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm not saying it's the best way. However, what I am saying is it's the best way for me that I've come up with in the last decade that I've used for a tactic and technique and chemicals and solutions to come out with the most pristine look for it. I have done a lot of trial and error. This isn't my first piece that I've done. So I have had a little bit of experience with what to use and what not to use, how to use it, how to apply it, and then what abrasiveness items to use to clean them, as well as polishing. All right, well, we're gonna polish this up a little bit more and we'll get back to the final product. All right, and we're back, and here it is, the final product. I would have to say it came out pretty well. Now, keep in mind, for those out there who are like, oh my God, he put super glue on a model that World of Warcraft, those collectors. Well, I didn't put too much glue. I just put enough so the hand can still move. It still has action. Same with this one. When you go to glue something that has too much and it's just floppy, you don't want to glue it till it's solid again. So you just want to add a little bit of glue so it grabs an abrasiveness almost. So there's still grab, still movement, but at least it kind of stays still in motion again. Belt came out great. He came out great. Here, let's get another view on that for you guys. So that is the final touch of a complete recon for your action figure or your model toy. Just keep in mind, again, ammonia-free solution is best to keep the color, so you don't want to use ammonia solutions on these. And anything to give it a good polish up. Remember, medium to soft bristle polish. You want tough brush to bristles to clean. And with that being said, I thank you again for sticking around and listening with Toy Box Talk. And see you next time.